Hi, Jessica.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm fine. I know we started talking before the cameras started rolling, so if you could just introduce yourself again and just as an icebreaker, tell me about yourself and like a random fact about yourself.
Okay, all right. So I'm Jessica Hilton Leckie, and I'm the owner and founder of the website Jessica in the Kitchen. So on the site, I share 3 vegetarian recipes every single week, and it's all about living a whole foods vegetarian lifestyle and just showing people that healthy food can still be delicious and easy and simple. I would say a random fact about me: when I was a child, I played maybe 10 to 13 sports. Yeah, throughout prep school. So yeah.
That's pretty cool. Do you still play any sport?
I more run now, but I do swimming as well because I did synchronized swimming in high school, and then I taught it for a while. Yeah. So that's like my favorite sport though.
Okay, that's pretty cool. And you mentioned Whole Foods. Can you just give me like a background into what it exactly is Whole Foods?
Okay, so whole foods just mean foods that aren't processed. So they don't have anything added, they're not refined or anything. You can still cook them, you can still season them, but they're just foods in their natural state. And it's kind of like enhancing them instead of covering them up with a lot of chemicals or things like that.
Okay, so your recipes are basically based on on whole foods, natural foods.
Right.
Just you're trying to maximize on what you benefit from your foods,
Right.
basically. Okay, so since you've already told us about yourself, what exactly do you do?
Okay, so I do food photography, I do videography as well, and I do recipe development. And I do all of that for my website. I do it for freelance clients as well, but mainly for my website, which is my full-time job.
Okay, and if anyone would like to get in touch with you in terms of possibly getting more information or classes, or do you do those kind of things?
I don't do classes, but it is something that I want to do in the future.
Okay. Oh, talking about the future, what's the next step for you? I know that you're working on an ebook now.
Yeah, so my ebook comes out on, well, I'm not sure when it's going to come out, but Tuesday, September the 5th. And after that, I kind of just want to keep doing, more products. I like the idea of coming out with that, probably like for January, maybe like a kind of wellness or a detox kind of program I'm thinking of coming out with. And eventually I do want to do like one-on-one consulting and cooking classes, because people have asked me about that.
Cooking classes.
Yeah. So
I think
that's
I will
like
be
the
signing
future.
up for your cooking classes, just saying, because it's so interesting.
Yeah.
Because most times, there's cooking classes, but I feel like sometimes persons don't take into consideration health.
Right.
They're just like, oh, taste, it needs to look good, it needs to taste good. But at the end of the day, we need to benefit from it as well.
Yeah.
So one thing that I appreciated is the fact that you focus so much on health
Right.
and it being basically whole foods. Okay, so you've already told me all these amazing things that you do. I'd just like to know what motivated you to do all of these things.
So I have always loved cooking. Actually started with a baking company.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was called Jessica Bakes, and I did that for about 3 years. Wasn't healthy, but it tasted really good. And then I started to transition, and then after that I became a vegetarian, and I realized I wanted to show people that I was still making delicious foods. They just, weren't like laden with just a lot of unhealthy things. And so I started sharing that on my website, and then it kind of just became a community. And so now what motivates me the most would definitely be my readers. I mean, sometimes when I need that extra push or something, I just kind of think about who am I doing this for?
Yeah.
Because I've heard a lot of great success stories from them. So yeah, that's definitely my motivation.
That's good that it's your readers that are motivating you. And what caused you to transition into being a vegetarian?
So it's like a funny story because I was gonna cook something one day and it was just chicken, and my body just kind of stopped me. It was just like cold turkey. I don't want to eat. I know it sounds crazy, but I just don't want to eat meat anymore, and I just haven't had any since that day.
And how long ago is that?
That was almost 4 years ago.
Oh, that's a long time.
Yeah, so it just happened just like that. But it's been a really interesting journey because I've actually found that I eat a lot more variety of foods now than I did before. Before it was just, bake something in the oven. But now I try a lot of different things, new ingredients, new ways of preparing them. So it's really been a fantastic journey so far.
So, what has been your biggest challenge thus far?
So, I would say that my biggest challenge, not right now, but it has been my health actually. So I was always sick, all throughout high school, everything. And everyone kind of just knew I wouldn't be able to come to this event or something because there's some random illness. And I actually missed the whole year of law school because of it. Yeah. And then after I became an attorney, I was sick for 6 months on bed rest with fainting and brain seizures. It was bad. Yeah. But eventually realized that none of the medicine was helping and that it was stress. And that's insane because I think people kind of glorify stress sometimes, but it can be really dangerous. So I have kind of really changed my relationship with stress. It can be a really stressful job, but I've learned to manage it a lot better. I know my limits, and I've really improved on my general wellness, my spirituality and everything, and that has really made a huge difference, complete 180 in terms. So, and I haven't been sick since that time. But actually deciding to retire from law completely and to do this full time was the biggest thing that stopped me from being sick. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I guess it's stress, the lifestyle, as well as your diet.
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay, that's really important to know.
Yeah.
Okay, because a lot of persons they take on a lot of stress and they don't realize that
it's
a
really
simple
damaging.
thing, it can be damaging.
And sometimes you can be eating all the right ways, you can be exercising, and you're still feeling bad, and it can really just be stress that's still causing that.
Okay. So what advice? Lastly, what advice do you have for any future, not just food bloggers, but bloggers in general who are interested in not necessarily starting, but continuing what they've started already?
Right. Okay. Well, I would just let them know that it can be a lot of work, especially if you're a one-man or one-woman show. It's a lot of different hats to wear. But if it's something that you really want to do, stick to it. I think consistency is important. I think people underestimate what they can get done in 5 years and overestimate what they can get done in 1 year. So they think that they can be an overnight success, but it's really just about doing 1% every single day and keeping at it. And I would just say, just to remember who you're doing this for, who's your ideal reader, and to just keep at that thing for them, always having them in mind with whatever they're doing.
Oh, okay. And this is just a random side question. Where do you get your ingredients in Jamaica? Because I've read a lot of your recipes and I've come across a lot of interesting stuff, but I'm just I don't feel like I can just walk into the supermarket and get some of these little items.
Right. So I get the majority of them at the Ojima Farmers Market, and that's right beside Orchid Village.
Okay.
And it's now every Saturday from 10 to 3, and they sell a wide variety of fruits and vegetables. But the specialty items, I know we're talking about coconut sugar. I buy that in Orchid Village, right beside it, in the natural health store. And they sell a lot of small things like that. If people are vegan, they sell vegan cheese, vegan cream cheese, vegan yogurt. They sell a lot of items in there. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, and a lot of them are in Luxury Center as well, as an example of a supermarket. I found them in Mega Mart as another example. I think it's just to know what you're looking for. Yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you so very much.
Right. It was nice talking to you.
It was a pleasure speaking to you as well, and I really look forward to actually trying one of your recipes now. Okay, thank you.
All right.
Okay, so now you've just inspired me to just destroy this vegan pizza right now.